guys, so today's video is going to be on a more serious note, and this is a video that I have talked about doing on my Twitter for a while now, and I'm ready to talk about it. So I'm going to start off this video by talking about something that I did in my early 20s that I am to this day very, very proud of, and that is I was an egg donor. I donated my eggs to about 5 different families, and I am in contact with 2 of the families. One of the families I'm actually in touch with on Facebook, and I get to see their little girl grow up, and it's one of like the most, I don't even know how to explain it. It's just, I feel honored that they have let me have a glimpse into their lives and into their child's life. She's so beautiful, and they're just such a wonderful couple. They're like the perfect family. It's ridiculous. And all of the couples I donated to, I did get to know to a certain extent, and they're all wonderful families. And that is why what I'm going through right now is so bittersweet, because these families that I donated my eggs to were not able to have children, and that is why they turned to egg donors, and that is why they turned to surrogates. My life has come full circle because now I am placed in a very, very similar position, and it has been a tough pill to swallow for me. So as you guys know, last summer I was diagnosed with aplastic anemia, and I went into bone marrow failure, and the only 2 options for me were bone marrow transplant or immunosuppressive therapy. And because I have not found a perfect bone marrow match, I've decided to go the immunosuppressive route, and so I've been on this treatment for about 5 months now. There are different causes to aplastic anemia. You can get it through exposure to radiation, toxic chemicals from chemotherapy, and then in some very rare cases you can get it from pregnancy. And so it has been explained to me by a few doctors and also a family doctor of mine that it would be basically suicidal for me to ever attempt to have children of my own. And for the next 2 years, or possibly even more, I'm going to be on medication that prohibits me from getting pregnant in the first place. My doctors told me that if I were to get pregnant while on this medication, while on this treatment, my child would have severe birth defects. After the treatment is over, in about 2 years, or possibly even more, I will be deemed in remission if this treatment works. And it has been explained to me by several doctors that if I were to get pregnant, it would be extremely risky, it would be a high-risk pregnancy, and there would be an extremely high chance of me relapsing. So basically, it is highly, highly, highly advised that I do not get pregnant. Up until this point, I never really thought about having kids. I always thought that that was something that was in my future, but it wasn't going to happen for a while because, like, obviously I still haven't married anybody and I don't have anybody to make babies with, so it's not something I thought about. But now that I know that that option has been taken off the table and it's now something that will never be a part of my future, it just hits me that much harder. And I've been going a little crazy, I'm not gonna lie. I've been looking up surrogacy costs online, and I've been looking at adoption agencies and like adopting in different countries and thinking, well, what if I'm not married? What if I don't have somebody in the next 3-4 years? What if I want a kid, I wanna adopt? And turns out like a bunch of countries won't even let you adopt unless there's 2 parents involved. And it's just, it's been hard for me to accept it because I never thought that I would not be able to have children. Like, my entire life, my friends always joked about me being fertile myrtle. I felt like my ovaries were amazing and that I'd be able to pop them out left and right, no problem at all. And so now when I go on Facebook or Instagram and I see all of my friends that I went to high school with having babies and posting baby pictures and posting pictures with their husbands with their babies, or people even just posting how they want to try to have a baby, it gets me really down because I know, like, I'll never have that. Like, I'll never have that moment where I'll be with my future husband, like, trying to have a baby. I'll never have the feeling of carrying my own child. I'll never experience what it's like to pick out maternity clothes, breastfeed my own child, and, like, those are things that I never thought I wanted to do until I found out that I can't do them, and now I just, like, I'm sad about it, and it sucks that that decision has already been made for me at this age, at such a young age. before I've even had a chance to think about having kids. I do intend on having a surrogate at one point in my life when I do decide to have children. So yeah, I just wanted to talk about that here on my channel and how I feel about that, and also to maybe open up a discussion with you guys, because I know there's plenty of people that watch my channel or that are on YouTube that have had difficulties getting pregnant or have had difficult pregnancies. There's 2 YouTubers that I watch that have discussed this. I know Shannon Rose is one of them, and she went through a really rough time with in vitro fertilization. All of this does suck, but there is one little light at the end of the tunnel, and that is that my embryos are actually frozen at an egg bank in Bridgeport, Connecticut, because when I donated my eggs all those years ago, one of the incentives to egg donation was that they were going to take some of those eggs and freeze them for me if I ever needed them in the future. And I kind of feel like the universe had this all planned out for me. It's so weird. And I actually had a lot of my doctors ask me like, oh, would you be interested in freezing your eggs? And I was like, nope, I already got that covered. And they were really confused why. But I explained to them that I used to be an egg donor, and that's just like one of those things that happened. So I already have my eggs frozen, and a surrogate can cost up to $100,000, which is like really, really crazy. So maybe I can convince one of my friends to do it for free, or maybe like I'll buy her a vacation or like rub her feet while she's pregnant. You know, it sucks, and it does get me down from time to time, and I also feel like it might complicate my love life, and I know that's such a crazy thought to have, but it's something that has infected my mind. And having this disease and being on all of these medications has already made me a pretty emotional person, so that on top of this, it's just made me a little bit of a train wreck lately. So yeah, I just want to know what you guys think. Have you been in a similar position like this? Do you know anybody who has been in a situation like this? Any thoughts, any advice? But yeah, thank you guys for listening to my story, and make sure to click the thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!